This is KVUE News Midday.
Good Monday morning to you all. I'm Anavid Reyes.
And I'm Terry Gruca. Thanks so much for joining us here on KVUE News Midday.
New on midday, authorities say multiple people were shot and killed by a former employee at their workplace near Orlando, Florida this morning. Officials say the accused shooter then turned the gun on himself after a shooting a former co-worker. ABC Janae Norman has the latest on the deadly attack.
A terrifying start to the work week.
She just sort of bang is all she said, and then when she come out, she saw one person on the floor.
Local law enforcement, the ATF, and FBI swarmed an industrial area just outside Orlando, Florida around 8 a.m. for calls of an active shooter. Shelly Adams says her sister was at work when she heard gunshots.
Just, my boss is dead. My boss is dead. Just unbelievable that it could happen in a small business.
Orange County Sheriff Jerry Demings confirms 5 victims are dead in addition to the gunman.
The individual in question is a former employee of this business. He was fired sometime in April of this year. So he was a disgruntled employee that came back to this business this morning.
Law enforcement confirmed the shooting is not terror-related and say 7 survivors made it out of the business alive.
We have no indication that this subject is a participant in any type of terror organization.
Sheriff Deming says the 45-year-old shooter has a criminal history that includes battery, and that deputies were called to the same business 3 years ago for reports of workplace violence involving the suspected gunman.
He allegedly battered another employee here in the business. There were no charges actually of that time.
This shooting is making headlines as the Orlando community prepares for the 1-year anniversary of the tragic Pulse nightclub shooting, the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history that left 49 people dead and more than 50 others hurt. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Rain may be possible this afternoon, so let's get a look at what we're tracking with Storm Team meteorologist Nathan Gogo.
Hey, good morning, Anavi. Things are quiet right now across central Texas and Austin for the morning, so if you're headed out, things are looking good. It's not until really the mid to late afternoon we'll start to see some showers and storms roll through parts of the Austin area and central Texas, similarly like we've seen the last few days. 80s right now, temperatures really soaring quickly. We're going to climb into the lower 90s, I think, by the end of the afternoon. Radar is quiet. We're not seeing any rain falling from the sky. Showers and storms off towards Houston, but notice up toward north, towards Dallas, North Texas, some showers and storms starting to flare up, and those will be pushing our direction. So it's only a matter of time before those make it to us. I'm thinking, again, mid to late afternoon. 80s and 70s right now. We'll climb into the lower 90s, likely a little bit warmer than what this is showing, with some storms possible for not only the afternoon, but also for the evening, before we start to dry things out and see a little bit more sunshine, a lot more sunshine, I think, for Tuesday, and a lot more quieter weather pattern coming our way as well. We'll be talking more about that in the full weather in a few minutes.
More summer-like on the way. Thanks so much, Nathan. Crews are cleaning up right now at an apartment in North Austin after a truck rammed into the building this morning. The apartments where this happened, Park Plaza, are located a little south of I-35 in Runberg. KVUE's Christy Millward is live at the location with more on what happened. Christy?
Well, Terry, you can see back here, this is all the damage. You can see the crews are working to clean this up. They're also working to figure out exactly what happened, and they think that it may have actually started over here at this dealership where a woman dropped off her car, then took a rental and drove out. But you can see that's when she hit this gate that's on the ground, came across the street, hit this phone utility over here, and then ran into the building. We're told she went through the first apartment and the car actually landed in a second apartment. Now, we want to show you a picture of when that pickup truck was in the side of the building. 15-year-old April Mendoza sent me the photo. She was in that second apartment with her aunt, uncle, and brother. She tells me about 7 o'clock this morning she was about to walk out of her bedroom when she heard a loud crash and fell to her knees.
I checked on my brother, he was okay, but then I opened the door, I saw a big truck next to the restroom, and I'm just like, what happened?
Now, Mendoza tells me they saw an elderly woman who was driving the truck. She says she's not seen the woman before. She says that woman was unconscious when they found her, and she was taken to the hospital. Since we've been out here, one of the people who was in this first apartment started feeling bad. An ambulance came to actually check her out. We are told that she appears to be okay. Now, the Red Cross has been out here to help these families try to figure out where they're going to stay tonight. Live in North Austin, Christy Millward, KVUE News.
Okay, Christy, thanks for the update. Now to the latest on the London terror attacks. ISIS has claimed responsibility, but families across London say they will not be intimidated. Authorities say they have made significant progress in identifying 3 suspects who they believe are behind the attack. And as ABC's Terry Moran tells us, leaders are vowing to fight back.
This morning, police launching more raids in the same area of East London where they've arrested 12 so far.
It's all going on right now. People running, I don't know out of where.
This new video capturing frightened residents fleeing restaurants and bars shortly after a hail of gunfire.
Get down, get down, get down.
The chaotic moments of terror that shook the city of London began just before 10 p.m. Saturday.
Get moving! Down there!
A white van heading south on London Bridge suddenly swerves off the road up on the sidewalk and accelerates, running down pedestrians, leaving them broken and bloodied on the pavement.
It just reminded me of something like 9/11.
The van came to a halt at the end of London Bridge, just steps from the bustling borough market, packed with bars and restaurants filled on a busy Saturday night.
We're locked down because there's just been an attack.
3 men jumped out armed with long knives and began slashing and stabbing the innocent.
Take it with me!
I saw the knife and just didn't turn around again, I just ran.
They was there to do one thing and one thing only, to kill people, stab them to death.
At 10:08 p.m., as the first emergency calls came in, police swarmed the attack scene. Terrified locals watching from windows. It took police just 8 minutes to corner the suspects, then gunfire.
Oh my God!
All told, 50 shots were fired by 8 officers.
Police is shooting. I'm trying to keep myself safe.
7 people killed. The apparent suicide vests worn by the attackers were found to be fakes. Overnight, President Trump at a gala in Washington making his first televised remarks since the attack.
America sends our thoughts, our prayers, and our deepest sympathies to the victims of this evil slaughter. This bloodshed must end. This bloodshed will end.
And this morning, Prime Minister Theresa May capturing the wartime mood here.
This was an attack on London and the United Kingdom, but it was also an attack on the free world.
In the wake of the attack, the police presence doubled at the site of Ariana Grande's One Love Manchester benefit concert, a so-called ring of steel encircling the venue, keeping the sold-out crowd of 50,000 safe.
That was Terry Moran reporting. The London Bridge attack is the 3rd terror attack in the United Kingdom in 3 months. 6 people were killed, including the suspect, in an attack outside Parliament at the end of March. 1 American was among those killed. Then just last month, a suicide bomber attacked fans at that Ariana Grande concert in Manchester. 22 people, including children, were killed. Happening today, President Donald Trump is expected to announce plans to revitalize the nation's air traffic control system and turn it into a nonprofit corporation. The president has invited executives from major airlines to join him for his announcement. The goal is to upgrade that system and to make sure that it uses radar when other countries have switched over to a GPS system. President Trump is also expected to address roads, bridges, waterways, and the rail system later this week.
Former FBI Director James Comey is expected to testify on Capitol Hill this week. It's his first time opening up to the public since he was fired. Lawmakers are expected to grill Comey on whether President Trump pressured him to drop the investigation into ties between Russia and the Trump campaign. Over the weekend, the New York Times quoted an unnamed White House source saying President Trump doesn't plan to invoke executive privilege. If he did, it could stop Comey from testifying.
Governor Greg Abbott is expected to make an announcement this week on whether he'll call a special session. The governor originally said he would share his decision Friday of last week, but his office then said there would not be an announcement until after the weekend. Abbott is under pressure to bring lawmakers back to deal with unresolved debates on property taxes and the so-called bathroom bill. We'll keep you posted on what happens.
Happening tonight, Austin School Board of Trustees is talking about asking taxpayers for some money in the November ballot. AISD is considering a $1.5 billion bond. That money would pay for revamping aging schools, building new ones to relieve overcrowding, and take care of other maintenance across the district. Today is just one small step. It will be a few weeks until the measure is finalized, including exactly how much they'll ask taxpayers for. Tonight's work session begins at 6.
The Travis County Commissioner's Court is looking for people to serve on the Children's Protective Services Board. The goal of the board is to provide financial support for the special needs of children in the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. They are accepting applications right now and looking for people who have knowledge and history on the issue. The deadline to apply is Friday, July 16th. You can find a link right on our website, KVUE.com.
Concert lovers, listen up. One of the hottest bands of the late 90s is planning a visit to Central Texas.
It's 3 a.m., I must be lonely.
Matchbox 20 is planning a stop in Cedar Park this fall. The band is celebrating their 20th anniversary with this tour. They will perform at the H-E-B Center in Cedar Park on September 29th. Pre-sale tickets go on sale tomorrow. The rest go on sale Saturday.
How fun. Cedar Park Center is a great place to watch concerts.
I love Matchbox 20.
I know. Okay, a lot of you may be noticing some big changes by Capital Metro, and we're going to tell you about the upgrades that they're making for riders in the Austin area. It could affect your commute.
Yeah, and it's getting hot outside, and we want to help keep your loved ones safe in the heat. Tips that will help keep you from leaving your kids in the car by accident during a hot day.